Let's zoom in and talk about ranges and ref groups. CockroachDB treats all data as a global key space, a big sorted space of keys. It splits this key space into contiguous chunks called ranges. Each range holds an interval of keys. For example, one range might cover keys from some lower bound up to key 1000, and the next range might cover from key 1000 up to key 2000. Each range is replicated to multiple nodes, commonly 3 replicas. Those replicas form a Raft group. Within each group, one replica is the leader for that range, and the others are the followers. All writes for keys that fall within that range go through the leader, which uses the ref protocol to replicate those writes to the followers. This means partitioning is done at the range level, and every range has its own leader and its own consensus group. Different ranges can have different leaders on different nodes, which helps distribute load across the clusters. Let's quickly walk through the write path in Raft, which is exactly what happens inside CockroachDB for each range. A client sends a write, such as insert or update, to the leader of that range that owns the key being modified. The leader appends a new log entry to its local Raft log. This log entry contains the current term, an index, and the command that represents the write. Now, the leader then sends the append entries RPC command to the follower replicas with that new log entry. Each follower durably writes the entry to its own log and sends back as a success acknowledgement. The leader keeps track of which replicas have acknowledged that entry. Once it sees that majority of replicas have acknowledged, it marks the entry as committed and applies the changes to the underlying data and then responds with the success to the client. This explicit majority acknowledgement is how the leader knows the data is safe, and it waits for the confirmation from the quorum of replicas before telling the client that transaction has been committed. This is the key diagram of what I just described. The client application sends some sort of like a SQL query command, and then once the leader creates the log entry, it will append the entries by issuing the RPC command and to the follower nodes, and then once the follower node writes those log entry, it will send them the acknowledge command. And once the leader receives the acknowledgement from the majority of the followers, then it responds with the success okay. And the way we define the majority is basically more than half. That's what we define.